Let's try to understand the concept of the unsupervised learning that already we have discussed in our one previous lecture, and its applications. What its applications? Let's try to see. So just recap the previous class. So if you just think these things, we will compare side by side from the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning. The supervised learning that we got in our previous series, already we have learned the classifications and regression technique. That concepts already we have learned, means the classification and regression. Already we have learned this concept, and these techniques are called the supervised learning. Supervised learning, okay. And the concept of the clustering, the concept of the clustering, that we call the unsupervised learning. Okay, because why we call these kind of things? Because for the supervised learning, the data set we have, there have two type of quantities, since xi, that is independent variable, and corresponding yi for that independent variable. Okay, and using this data set, we have to predict the function f that will give the output for a query point xq, yq. This yq will be approximate equals to our yi, actual yi. Okay, it will be approximate equal to, this is the original output, this is the predicted output actually. Well, let's take the predicted output y hat, and the original output is this one. This is the predicted, and this one yq is the original one, original or actual. Because we have this yi variable, and with the help of this yi, we will train this function, this model f, or these functions we will train these things by using simple this yi. Because of these things, we call this variable, we call this system of these classifications and regressions of the supervised model. Because of these things, because for supervisations we have some data, for supervised our models we have some data. Because of these reasons, we call these things as a supervised learning model. We call this model as a supervised learning model. Because for supervisations we have some data, but the thing that's here, the clustering, the data sets that we have only single quantity, single type, means only independent type of variables we have, there have no yi's. So for supervisations of our model, there have no any data. So because of these reasons, these things called the unsupervised model, because we have no data that supervised our model. Okay, the reason behind is because we have no such yi's that supervised our model, that Okay, because of in this reason, these models are called the unsupervised learning model. Because of this, because data set we have that have no any kind of YIs, means they have no any kind of dependent variable corresponding to the independent variable. Okay, because of these reasons, that's things called the unsupervised model. Okay, the details we will learn in this chapter. So now let's try to there have another kind of model. So in this series, we are not going to this kind of, just to try to understand the concept of it. So they have another kind of that called the semi-supervised learning model. Semi-supervised learning model. Okay, now let's try to understand in applicable point of view. What is this thing? Suppose let's take the data we have. The data we have, suppose let's take we have the data D. The data we have two type of data in our main data, D1 and the different type of D2. So the D1 data that we have, the D1 data that we have, so this data look like this type, Xi, and corresponding its actual output of this data, Yi. Okay, this is the independent variable in mathematically if we call, and corresponding to this independent variable we have its actual output, means original output. This is the this type of data. And another data D2 that we have, in this data we have only independent variable, means in these data sets there have no output. What will be its output? They are kind of things that we have now. So the data sets means the D that we have, that are the two mixed kind of data. So one size data we have the corresponding output, and another kind of data there have no any output. Okay, in such situations the model that we have applied they call the semi-supervised learning model. Okay, and the data D1 that we have in small quantity, the data that corresponding output that we have, that have with a small quantity data, and the data that there have no any corresponding output, the data have large quantity, large quantity. Okay, this is the large quantity, but they have some small quantity. So these kind of situations are occurring every time when the gathering the for we have some situations to collect the output of some situations. So this is sometimes time taking matter, and they have needed some huge amount of manpower. In such situations, this kind of data sets are occur, because for few data we got some output. The most of the data they have no any output corresponding. In such situations, the models that come into the pictures, the semi-supervised. Okay, so this is not our main motto of this series. Means in one of our previous series, one of our later series, we will discuss how the semi-supervised learning models are actually work. But in these models, the thing that we have discussed, that we will discuss only unsupervised model. Okay, means the data that we have only independent variable, they have no corresponding output of it. That things are called the semi-supervised learning model. Okay, these things are called the semi-supervised learning model, and the things also applicable in real world. The situations where the collecting the output, or collecting the actual output of the corresponding data, that is very time taking matter, or it is needed huge amount of manpower. In such situations, that's the kind of data we get. And in generally in these situations, the length of the data D1, the length of the D1 is very small. It is a small quantity. The data D2, that's the situation. In such situations, we will these kind of situations occur. This is the another portions of the another part of the machine learning. Okay, that's not our motto of this series. Our main series of this thing of our series is the clustering, the unsupervised model, how these things are. Let's see. So before going to this, let's try to understand what kind of applications it have. Let's try to applications of it. Let's try to understand some applications. Okay. So applications, if you just like these things in applicable point of view, application, there are many applications of it, like in biology, like in medicine, like in various field, like in biology, like in medicine, etc. etc. Just search it on the on YouTube or any Wikipedia page or any Google, the applications of the unsupervised model. Then you will get answers how much applicable it is in real world. Okay, let's try to discuss through an examples how much important these things in the real machine learning. Suppose let's try to take an example. Suppose go through step by step. Suppose let's take the examples first. We are going to discuss one. Suppose let's take the example first, the e-commerce website. Let's take an e-commerce website. How these things are they have used in e-commerce world. Let's try to e-commerce website. Already we have known some famous e-commerce websites like Amazon.com. We have known it's the very popular one. The thing already we have in India, mainly in India, the famous one means the competitor of the Amazon like Flipkart. Also in China, if you recall the China, mainly it's nowadays it's available on the whole world. The Alibaba.com. It's another famous retail e-commerce website. Alibaba. And another one, in the USA, mainly in USA, UK, the competitor of the Amazons like eBay. Already we have known eBay. This one is also a famous e-commerce website. And also they have very e-commerce website like Myntra, like if you call in medicines the 1mg, like kind of they are a very type of e-commerce website. So let's try to understand how the in e-commerce world how these unsupervised models are actually work. Let's try. So the first I to understand what is the task of the e-commerce. Suppose let's try to understand what is their task. Suppose let's take the tasks that we have. They have tried to find the group of similar customer based on their some purchasing behavior. Let's try to the e-commerce website, because of their share marketing, they are to increase their sales. They try to find the group of customers, group of similar type of customers on their purchasing behavior. Because when we go in the some e-commerce website, they want some information from us. Also, the time to time they will track our behavior. What kind of product we have? We have buy from their website. In which area we have staying. In what is our credit card number? How much spent in the websites in a month? What kind of product we have bought from this kind of e-commerce website? This kind of data, this kind of informations already they have. So the task is managed to find the group of similar customers, group of similar customer based on their purchasing behavior. Purchasing behavior. Okay, purchasing behavior means what? that we have discussed. Purchasing behavior means the informations I already have from there. How much money we have spent in a month. How much money we have spent according to these informations. What kind of credit card we have used. It is a Visa card or a MasterCard. Because from this concept of the credit card, they will got some information. Okay, if we use this, suppose we will use HDFC credit card in India. Mainly, this is a famous credit card in India. Okay, then we got, yes, it's have some income people. If has some large amount of income in monthly basis. Okay, if we have from credit, we have bought from the product from cash on delivery, because they know some idea. Because he got bought the product from cash on delivery, because their financial conditions is not so much good. Okay, so because such kind of informations they will got from there. Suppose products, concept of the product, what kind of product we have bought from their website. Okay, if you bought some kind of like headphones, some kind of simple, just the range bit under 100, under 1000 rupees. And if you bought some mobile, some kind of huge amount of, means suppose you bought an iPhone, some tablet, some laptop, they, according to your behavior of the products, they will got some idea. Yes, this is this kind of customer. Okay, these things are very important to increase their sale. And the main thing, already the informations already they have the geographical location. Already when we give there as a delivery locations, already they want the pin code of your area. And according to the pin code, they will got some idea. If we suppose, let's take, if we ordered their product from some Delhi or Bangalore in India, mainly I'm talking about India cities. So if you order from the Delhi or Bangalore or some area that's a more popular one on the in Delhi area or in Bangalore area, the data already we have there. If you order that product from on the basis of that and that address, then they will got, yes, the financial conditions of that area's people is maybe good from the another one. Okay, on the basis of this kind of data, they will give some deal. Means on the basis of this kind of data, they will assign some kind of deals on you. Means deal means what? Deal means they will go some amount of discount for particular order. They will give some kind of prime day. So means the offer, they will offer you the discount offer. They will offer you prime day offer. If you just call the Amazon website the prime day, big billion day. Okay, means offer on a particular product only for you. So according to the base of this data, they will try to find the group of customer, and on the basis of that, this group, they will assign this kind of selling marketing, means marketing technique they will give offer. Okay, so means they are try to find the niche customer according to their product. Suppose let's take you are a customer that you will mostly search the technological gadgets, means they will try to understand that you love gadget kind of thing. Now on the basis of your search history, they will give some ads on your like a YouTube channel, on it maybe on your Facebook account, on your Google background, anywhere, because they know you are this kind of customer. You search this kind of product on Amazon, you search this kind of article on the Google, you search this kind of video on YouTube. Already they will try to understand what is your thinking power and what kind of thing you love most. And according to that, so in such situations, they will try to find the group of similar type of customer. Means similar, the things I have used here, similar means according to the base of the similarity of these things. According to the similarity of their purchasing behavior. Okay, this is the similar meaning here on that task. Okay, I think you got the answer. How these things are important. They will according to this thing, they will try to group the customers. Okay, this is the one applications in unsupervised modeling in the e-commerce world. This is one. Let's try to understand in another application. Let's try to understand. Suppose let's take the example that we are going to take. Suppose we are going to take the image segmentation. Image segmentations. Image segmentations, the thing are mostly used in computer visions and image processing in computer vision. So this is one area of the computer science. Means it's focusing on the human visualizations. How we will visualize the thing. So these things are studied in computer visions in the computer science area. So the image segmentation mainly used in computer vision. Okay, and mainly these things are used in image processing area. Of the image processing. These things are mainly applicable in this area. Now let's try to understand through the example. We are taking some picture from the Google image. I think through the picture, if we try to understand these things, I think it will be better for us. Okay, let's try to see these things through a picture. So let's try to understand the image segmentations from these pictures. So I have taken these pictures from the Google image. Search it on Google image segmentation. Then you will find this kind of pictures. There are a lot of pictures. Just I am taking from them few of them. It's better for better understand. Suppose let's start this through this example. So this is a pictures already. If you are in the human eyes, if you just see these things, there have some cars, there have some buildings, there have a road. But how we will learn these things on a computer? Let's try to just here use the concept of the image segmentation. Just after applying the image segmentations on it, the image segmentations are displayed to the various group of colors. Just see the yellow color. Just see the first yellow color. The yellow color here denoted that it's the building. Yes, it's the building. The yellow color here defined. See the green color. These portions. See the green color. The green color that appears here, and here it is the vegetations. Means they have talking some about trees that they have. Means these are the trees. Just see these things. Trees. Means through this green color, the image segmentation techniques are colored. Means the things they have grouped by simple using the green color. Means the green colors are denoted here some vegetations. Means some about tree. Now let's try to understand the red color thing. This thing. Okay, by simple the grouping the things using simple the red color that calls us the vehicle. These are the vehicles. Okay, now let's the things like that here. These things, the sidewalk. They are simple group these things by using the blue color. Means sidewalk. Image segmentation tailor. This is a sidewalk. Okay, the portions you are showing a sky is the background of this picture. Somewhere background. So they have used the black color. It's unlabeled data. These are they have not labeled something. They have unlabeled data. These are they are the blue color means means deep blue color means pole here. So I think they have something. Yeah, right. Let's see this thing. They have used this deep blue color. Means these have some pole. They have grouped these things. I think it is used. We just see this thing. Here I have some poles. Just see this thing. Using this simple blue color. I'm using pole. Okay, this kind of things. Now let's see these things. So here they have some vehicles, humans, street light. There are various kind of things. House, trees, means by simple, if you just use the image segmentations by using the unsupervised grouping technique, they have grouped of things. By using simple red color, they are group of the group of humans. Using simple the blue color, they have used the car, the vehicles of it. They have used the yellow color, means denoted the street light. They have using the green color to denote these are the trees. Okay, by simply using the image segmentation technique to build, to group the such kind of. Okay, this is the very important thing for in real world situations. In the real world of the machine learning, we will, as time progresses, we will see these things, how these things are actually workable when we work on some projects, when we work on some case studies. These things are very useful. Then we will learn these things. Okay, and now let's see this thing. Predict. Here I have the peoples, they are cycling. So the using this sample, the pink color means light pink color type color they have used means they are the humans. By sample, the image segmentations are used the green color means denoted that it's the bicycle. Okay, and the using simple the background black color, using simple background. Okay, so here in the image segmentations area, so that these unsupervised learning models are very useful because to group the group of similar kind of data, it is very useful. As time progresses, you will see these things, how the mathematics of it are usables, how these things are important. You will see these things. Now let's try to. So the image segmentations, in the world of image segmentations, the we got the first applications is grouping or clustering similar pixels of thing in one pic in into an regions. Means I am talking about similar pixels of thing means similar kind of things. It is vehicle, it is house, it is persons, it is street light, it's tree, it's sky, it is background. That's kind of thing I'm talking about. A similar kind of thing. So the first that applications is grouping or clustering. Grouping or clustering similar pixels into the picture. Similar pixels. Similar pixels into a region, into the region. Okay, that's the first application. Now let's try to now let's try to understand another type of applications. Typically apply these things in machine learning algorithm to perform the object detections. This is the another one kind of applications to grouping similar kind of things into a single region. Okay, now the another applications it typically apply, it's typically apply to perform the object detections. Means what kind of object it is. Here it is detected that it is a vehicle, it is a bus, it is a street light, it is the just see these things using this a little better. So using this color they have denoted that. Using the red color, the computer has detected that it is a vehicle. Using the this yellow color, they have detected that it is the building. Using the light blue color, it's detected that it is a sidewalk. Using the green color, they have detected that so it is the vegetation type of thing. So sample to detect the object detections, it is very useful. Typically it apply. Typically it apply in ML algorithm. It's apply algorithm to perform the object detection. These are the main applications in the area of the image segmentation. Now let's try to understand another example. Another example. So let's take example 3. Let's see. So suppose let's take we have collected some review data from some, suppose let's take Amazon. So we have collected some review data, product review data. If you see Amazon website, means as the end of the every product there have some customer review of the each product. Okay, now our main job is on the basis of that review, how you have to find the quality of that product. It is a good product or bad product, it is useful in which segmentations, we do what kind of group of peoples that will be referable. That's kind of things that we want to get the answer. The job is here. So now suppose let's take we have collected the Amazon food review, Amazon product review data. We have collected this data, suppose let's take, and suppose let's take the data that we have collected in the text format. Review data that we have collected, let's take these review data are in text format. Okay, there have also picture, there have also video format. So this depends on the product review. Suppose let's take a customer that give a product review, they have some fault product on that product and they posted some comments on their product, and also they have attached some image and also some attached some video on that product. So on the basis of this photo, on the video, it is a correct product or not, there have some kind of fault or not, we have to detect these things. So suppose let's take for simplicity, we have collected some kind of text format on the data. Suppose let's take data that we have collected like that. Suppose let's take it is the review 1. Suppose let's take this is the review 2. Like that we have collected such kind of 1 million review. Suppose let's take we have collected such kind of 1 million review, and we are interested to train this data using this train. Now the questions that comes, we have to find the tags that we have to find its polarity, means this review is positive or not. That's the main task. So the task is we interest to here in we are interested to find its polarity of its of the polarity of the review. Polarity means what? Means polarity means, is it positive or negative? We are want to get the answers. Okay, so suppose let's take we got this review positive. Suppose let's take we got this review negative. Suppose let's take we got this review positive. Suppose let's take, but the question is how will got this review, how will got this polarity value, is this positive or non-positive? If we use here some manpower, then it is okay. Okay, if you use some manpower, suppose let's take we will use some manpower to detect this. If we humans by simply using read this text, we can easily detect it is positive or negative. But there have millions, billions of review for Amazon page, or suppose if you just any e-commerce page, there are billions of review. So manually doing this job is totally impossible. Okay, so these things to manually doing this job. So to manually doing these tasks, each a time consuming matter and needed huge amount of manpower, means costly. We have to invest some money on it, or we have some resources on it, huge amount of resources. Suppose let's take we are going to start a startup. So in such situations, this kind of huge money to find some kind of simple polarity of some data, review data, so it is impossible for a startup company. So in such situations, what the options? So to manually doing these tasks, it's totally a time consuming. Time consuming and resources taking matter. So for a small company, it's totally impossible to invest this huge amount of money to find simple polarity. Okay, so in such situations, this kind of algorithms are comes into the picture to find the grouping. Let's try to understand how these things are actually workable here. Suppose let's take we have seen that so manually doing this job, this is totally time consuming and expensive. Resources taking matter mean I'm going to I'm going to talking expenses. We have to invest some expensive. These things are expensive matter. Suppose let's take the data, the review data that we have collected here. Suppose let's take is the D data. So the size of the D here, suppose let's take 1 million that we have collected from the review, 1 million reviews that we have collected. Okay. And the question first is there have no YIs, means there have no YIs for this data set. Since there have no polarity value. Now our task is we have to detect this polarity. Is it a positive or negative? That's the task that we have to do here. Okay, so first thing that we have to process this data, means they have a raw data, they have the user given data, they have some kind of errors, they have some kind of mistakes on the data. So the first thing that we have to do, the pre-processed data, we have to process the data. First step that we have to do, pre-processing step. The first step that we have to do, pre-processing state. Now the second step, we have to cluster that group. We have to cluster by using the word similarity. Word similarity means when we learn the back of word technique, TF-IDF technique, word to vec techniques, there are various kind of word similarity techniques. Very simple, we have tried to find the group of text using the concept of the word similarity. Okay, that thing I have used here. So to find the text group, same kind of text, there are some machine learning techniques that we will see as time progressed. But the job is here, that the second job is here, we have to cluster them. So in the third step that we have to do, we have to cluster them. We have to cluster. We have to cluster them. Suppose let's take, we have the 1 million data. Now we are going to cluster it. Suppose let's take 10K groups. 10K groups that we are going to cluster. Okay. By sample using the word similarity concept. Word similarity. Here the similarity based on word. So that's in previous we will discuss the definitions of the similarity are used in this unsupervised learning, means in the clustering technique. It depends on the problem specific. So in this problem, in this review, find the polarity of the review. In this problem, the grouping technique are used simple by using the word similarity concept. In the image segmentations that are similarity concept are used, mean the object, kind of object, what kind of object we have, on the basis of that this similarity we have. And on this e-commerce website, based on the purchasing behavior, on the basis of this is the similar thing, this is the definitions of the here purchasing behavior. Okay, so that depends on the problem to problem. It is definitions of the similarity based on the problems, what kind of problem we have. So these things, now in this example, the similarity concept are used here. By example, the word similarity. By example, using the word similarity concept. The already we have seen, already we learn word similarity. There have various kind of word similarity concept. So like back of word, like TF-IDF, like what to vectors. Okay, this kind of concept you will learn. Now in the fourth step that we have to do, now in the fourth state that we have to do the review or labeled the edge cluster. We have to do the review and labeling the edge cluster. That's things that we have to do in fourth step. Okay, so suppose let's try to understand how we'll be doing this job. So how much cluster we have divided here? On that, using simple 1 million reviews, we have produced these things in 1K. So just read these things step by step. We have first the job that we have 1 million reviews. We have 1 million reviews. Now simple on this 1 million review, we have used here the clustering technique by using simple the similar word similarity clustering technique. By simple we have used a word similarity. Word similarity. Now in the after that we will build here 10k groups based on the similar kind of okay, 10k groups. Now after building this 10k groups, we have to pick age group. We have to pick age group. Suppose let's take we have group I, group 1, this one, the group 1. We have to pick the second group. This is, suppose let's take this is the group 2. Suppose let's take we have to pick the third group. Suppose let's take this is the group 3. Like that we have to pick age group. 10k group, 10k. Okay, now after picking age group, the job that we have to do here, we have to pick a point from this group. We have to pick a point. Pick point. Suppose let's take the point we have picking here X review. Review means I'm using here review 1 that we have picking from the group 1. Pick one point. Pick one review. Okay, we are picking here one review, and after picking the review, we will manually doing is it positive review and negative review. We will manually doing these jobs. We will doing manually here. We will doing manually. Is it positive or negative? We will manually doing this job. We will doing manually doing this job. Is it positive or negative? Okay, suppose let is it positive. Let is it positive review, the review that we have picked from the group 1. Now if we got this is a positive review, then we labeled A's review on this group are positive. Then we label A's review on this group are positive. Then we label H review on this group is positive. Okay, that the manual doing this job. Okay, so we have to doing the manual thing only 10 days. It's not a time taking matter. It's possible for a startup company. It's possible to labeling the 10k manually doing the 10k review. So we have 10 million review instead of 10 million times doing the same thing. If we use this job on 10k times, if we're doing this job on 10k times, so there are 100x reductions. Just see these things. They are have, if we instead of doing this to this, here to here, so we have here how much reductions? We have here 100x, 100 times reduction. We have 100, make the 100 times reductions in time as well, and as well as cost. Okay, I think you got the answer how these things are usable to reduce our time and cost for a company. So that's the things, that's for labeling the data, that's the job. So first, by using simple the word similarity, because we will doing the clustering technique, we are grouping the our reviews by based on the word similarity. So show the group, the words of the review that have on the group, on the age groups are similar kind of word. And by just pick the single review, and based on that we will review that each review on that group are same kind, by just using this simple technique, simple thing. That's thing. So this is the applications that are used in real world, the for a clustering technique. I think from this lecture you got some idea how these things are actually usables in real world. Now let's try to, let's stay tuned how the, what is the mathematics that's what the behind this clustering technique. Let's see these things in the next lectures. I think you got some idea, you got some idea how the unsupervised models are works, and how these things are actually work. So let's try to, now let's in the next video let's try to see how the mathematics behind it, that's our work.